Hello and welcome! Today we're doing a quick look video at Valorant's beta, a game from the League of Legends creators Riot Games, a new kind of Counter-Strike-like game from them, and to talk about this today and its technical performance on two very similar PCs, I'm joined by my friend and colleague, Will Judd. How you doing there, Will?
Hello. It's great to be here. It's taken a little while, but we finally got it working.
Yeah, we spent a majority of the day trying to get the capture setup working for this game, unfortunately, but it is working now, and we're about to get in game, and I've picked this very brawly character named Jett. We'll see how he fares out. But we're playing this game right now on two very similar PCs, as I mentioned earlier. I'm running on a Core i5-8400 with a RX 580 from AMD, 16 gigabytes of RAM, all on an SSD, and Will is basically running the exact same configuration, but with an NVIDIA GTX 1060 with 3 gigabytes VRAM, and therefore less shader cores than the 6 gigabyte variant, so a slightly different take on our usual AMD NVIDIA comparison to see how this game runs across different drivers and also across different VRAM configurations. Games like this, in my experience, Counter-Strike style kind of games, run at very high frame rates usually, even at the highest settings on hardware like this. And right now, I mean, I'm getting in the starting area 150 FPS about, basically. How about you?
Yeah, it's about 160 for me, I think.
Okay, so like
yeah, we're doing well to try and max out these 120 hertz or 144 hertz monitors.
Yeah, essentially, obviously for the people watching the stream right now, we're running with VSync off, and it's gonna look a little bit terry for you. But right now, I'm running the game at 1440p with the highest settings available, and that includes 4 times multi-sample anti-aliasing, which is kind of interesting because that's pretty rare to see in a modern game. And I presume it's because they're using a forward rendered engine, which makes that at all possible. I've never played as this character before, by the way, so
okay.
I'm not exactly sure what my special abilities do. But Will, could you give a kind of an overview of what this is for people who've maybe played Counter-Strike before, and maybe what makes it different?
Yeah, so this is very, very similar to Counter-Strike in terms of the basic kind of movement mechanics and gunplay. But what it sets it apart is instead of having grenades, like smoke grenades and flash grenades, you actually have different characters that have different abilities that kind of fill that same role. Ooh, I'm getting shot in the back, and I'm dead. Cool.
I just watched you die. So it kind of takes a bit from the, I would say, MOBA shooter genre, like I would say Overwatch-styled different characters, but with the kind of gunplay and buying economy of Counter-Strike, and obviously the objective control that Counter-Strike has, like with DE underscore style maps that Counter-Strike has. So you're planting a bomb and having a team defuse it. And right now there's 2 bomb sites on this map. There's other maps that have, you know, up to 3 bomb sites, I'm pretty sure, like an A, B, and a C. Oh, and it even has spray tags exactly like Counter-Strike. Really? Good luck, have fun. Is it T, just like in Counter-Strike? It is. Oh, there's assault. Oh. Okay, I actually do like that quite a bit. One thing that if you're looking at me playing this game right now, you're going to see that I'm probably not playing very well. But if you're curious why it is running so well at 1440p on this hardware, like in excess of 150 FPS pretty much at all times, full settings, 1440p, there's no real-time lighting in this game. In fact, it doesn't even look like there's anything like ambient occlusion as well. Like if you look at this character model right here, there is a fake drop shadow underneath characters. There's no real-time shadows in this game, essentially. So that's why it runs really, really, really well. I'm pretty sure the shadow option in the menu only controls the weapon shadows that you can see probably right now on my screen. And here I am trying not to die.
Yeah, they should defend a bomb site. B, so there might be a guy behind you at some point.
I'm gonna. Oh, I have a.
So you can call down some smokes. But,
yeah. That's what it looks like it does. Okay, that's pretty useful. I would probably say if I wasn't defending, it's more like an attacking ability. But,
yeah, sure. So when you're running into the bomb site, you can lay down a couple of smokes to kind of clear off some areas that you don't have to check immediately, and concentrate more on the whatever is left out.
Yeah, and interestingly, this game, I should note, this is very different than Counter-Strike Go. Is that the game is running a DirectX 11 client, and the source engine that Counter-Strike Go is running on currently is still in the DirectX 9 era. So it is very much so limited in how it can use multi-core PCs and how much it basically scales on the CPU side. So there's, even if you have a really great PC nowadays and you can run the game on your GPU like Counter-Strike Go, really high frame rates, you're still going to run into a CPU wall eventually, especially at something like 1080p or 1440p. This game, on the other hand, right now, at 1440p, basically full-on GPU utilization the entire time, and 150, 160 FPS. And soon, I'm going to probably say we should turn down our resolution just to see how high we can get this game to scale on these CPUs, which obviously not the top-end CPU could run, but something that you would definitely expect should probably run a game like this at a high frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Someone has the ability to get onto double-stacked boxes.
Yeah, there's lots of movement-based abilities in this game because the actual, base movement speed is quite slow, especially if you're sneaking around, which you kind of want to be doing.
Yeah,
So,
a really interesting thing here is that the game really does try and do everything to keep the frame rate up. Like, this isn't a transparency effect, but rather a full-on like geometry that you can't see through. It's completely opaque. If it were, I'm probably going to die as I set up.
So right now our bomb carrier has died on the A site. So,
Oh, he is? Okay, so I'm at B for no apparent reason.
yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, nice. Okay, I did get someone.
Good job. Got
Actually,
it.
you know what? Let's turn down to 1080p right now if you can. Hey, I'm apparently running at 1080p. 100, that can't be right. 130 FPS? 140? It's like basically the exact same almost.
Wow. So are you just completely CPU limited?
I guess I must be. I mean, if I look at the CPU's utilization on the right-hand side now, obviously the CPU utilization has increased in general because the frame rate is higher now that I'm not completely GPU limited, but not by much. It's like in the 80s, whereas it was in like the 60s and 70s before. But now there's more cores that are completely active the entire time. So I'm actually, in comparison to you, decidedly more CPU limited on this AMD configuration, even though obviously our drivers are, going to be very, very
That
different.
is something we've experienced on other AMD parts before. The driver utilization is not quite, where it is for NVIDIA.
Yeah. Like we've definitely seen it. Like if you were to play CS:GO, it would be something that you'd see probably rather often. But it surprises me a little bit, I guess, in a DirectX 11 title. But still, here we are. So I'm gonna try out some of these new weapons.
Yep. Be sure you're buying your abilities at spawn.
Yes.
I forgot for the first couple of rounds.
Okay, so between rounds, if you die, you don't have to rebuy your abilities. Is something I just kind of figured out. At least I don't think so. You do run faster with a knife. Okay, I wasn't sure originally.
Yeah, there you go.
Wanna go for a jog, man? We can go for a jog.
Okay, but what are you doing with a knife?
What do you mean? I run faster with a knife.
I haven't played Counter-Strike in a competitive manner for almost a decade, by the way. So
So you're saying you're perfectly warmed up. Okay.
I
that's good.
I know exactly what I'm doing. I mean, I played enough Counter-Strike in my life to know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so you just died.
Yeah. So I threw a flashbang style ability, which didn't actually work. There's two on the A site. Which our team has handily dispatched.
Molly!
So I believe you're the bomb carrier. Nice. Yeah.
I should have planted behind, but I got nervous.
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay, I have my ult ready, but I'm not going to use it this round. Alright, so
So your ultimate is just a incredibly strong kind of orbital cannon style attack. So if
That's
they're
pretty useful,
trying to
actually.
defuse, then yeah, you can just lay that on.
okay, so I mean, it'll take a bit for me to get used to this map layout. We won. Oh my gosh, congrats.
Yeah, this is definitely not a game that you can just like kind of pick up if you aren't really experienced with the CS:GO, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't think so as well too. I think it probably needs some onboarding tutorials kind of stuff, which they
Oh, for sure, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, people are already getting mad at you if you don't know how to play the game, and it's literally been out for one day.
That sounds a lot like my experience playing matchmaking based games online, especially ones with competitive element. This game will, I'm assuming, use like ELO or some sort of diamond or like league system in the end.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And this is the equivalent of unranked basically, and people are still taking it very seriously.
Goodness. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting a bit of network lag right now. Unfortunately, in this crisis period, network connections are being throttled all across Berlin, so I do get some network problems occasionally.
All right, do you want to be the one to run out? I'll do
a
flashbang. All right, ready, go!
Okay.
Follow that flash. All right, nice.
I die. I mean, I did do something rather unintelligent and hold down the trigger. I forgot what game I was playing. I've been playing too much Doom Eternal recently.
If only there was a double jump in this game.
I know, right? Yeah, or some dash. I mean, some characters do have a dash. I did see someone with a dash earlier. That's got to be extremely useful in a game like this, because I would say in Counter-Strike, Shotgun's viability is very much so map and lane dependent. And a game like this, if you do have something that could get you closer to the enemy rather quickly, that would make shotguns much more viable.
Yeah, for sure. Like as it stands, it's kind of more of a weapon that you have for defending, like for holding a very tight angle.
Do you have a heal?
I do not, but maybe somebody. We don't have a healer on our team, I don't think. So I'm just gonna be low on health.
What does this do? Fudge. Okay, I just died. Well, I'm trying to figure out my abilities as well.
That's fair enough.
Following you right now. What is your FPS right now?
Right now it's 230.
So yeah, I'm definitely much more CPU limited than you are.
Yeah, and this
like
is actually
200
the 3 gigabyte. This is the 3 gigabyte version of the GTX 1060 as well. So.
Okay, what is your memory usage at right now? Like in terms of VRAM usage, do you happen to know?
Oh, I don't actually have that up at the moment. I will.
Well, I would imagine if it's something like mine, obviously my RX 580 has 8 gigabytes of VRAM. This game is currently using only less than 3 gigabytes at 1080p with 4 times MSAA. So that's pretty cheap. That's, like very cheap, even though it's having a, 4 times MSAA render target. Since I'm not getting any advantage by going down to 1080p. You want to go back up to 1440p with me, or maybe 4K?
Okay, sure. Why not? Noticing some slight effects on frame rate there. Yeah, for me, it's around 80, 90.
Okay, yeah, for me, 93 FPS, and it feels definitely a lot less smooth.
Not great.
Okay, so this is where the GPU advantage of the RX 580 is going to come in really well. Like right now, I'm not CPU limited at all, and I didn't buy any weapons either, so this is going to be a hilarious round. Oh, you have a shotgun? Oh, nice!
Yep. Oh, and there was somebody behind me.
So, are you following the 1312 character right now? If you look at the walls and stuff, this game is not at all going for some sort of extremely high dense texture detail environments. In fact, the game doesn't really have much of any specular lighting as well, which is kind of interesting to look at. Everything is extremely diffusely lit. I don't actually think there is really much specular lighting other than on the weapon models.
Yeah, they've been really very careful, I think, about the performance costs of almost everything.
Yeah, this is running absurdly well, excluding the fact that I'm a bit CPU limited under the AMD driver right now. But yeah, 4K, 110 FPS in the starting zone. I'm actually going to buy some weapons now.
Yeah, let me look at the same wall as you. I'm at 79 FPS.
Okay, so yeah, just GPU limited scenarios, RX 580 is better in this game. So I would, if you are going for high FPS gaming on a mid-ranged AMD rig, I would say, if you have an AMD driver and you have something like an i5, it probably won't be enough for something like a crazy 240 hertz monitor, but something below that, 144 hertz or 120 hertz, would do really, really well. If you have a 240 hertz monitor though, I'm not sure if the AMD driver on a mid-range GPU like this would be the best thing to do. If you had that, I think you'd want to look into getting an NVIDIA rig. But then again, this game is just in beta currently. Obviously, its CPU and GPU optimization will change over time, probably getting better running, and I'm imagining will maybe offer some higher-end graphical options, because right now there's... Oh, okay. You know what? Let's go to our other teammate.
Yeah.
There's
he's holding the fort here.
Yeah.
We try and move in, perhaps.
Oh, wow. I just walked into your flashbang.
Yeah,
which had a very simplistic graphic, by the
behind us,
way.
behind us. Okay. There's two behind us.
Okay. That's where I should have used my alt. Like, really. I'm not even thinking like I'm playing this game. I'm totally in a Counter-Strike mindset. Actually, you know what? You're still at 4K, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's turn off MSAA and see how much that helps our frame rate.
Okay.
Video graphical quality, MSAA 4x. Let's turn it off to none and see how much.
All right. So that did help me quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I know. I'm at 160,
120.
175. Oh, okay. Actually, I'm curious how much MSAA is the limiting factor in performance on these GPUs, even at lower resolutions. We should probably turn off all MSAA and go back down to 1080p again to see what that's like. Because I'm curious, because it could actually expose other GPU bottlenecks. And I once again did not buy any equipment because this game distracts me. I mean, you as someone who's played many hours of CS:GO, how are you feeling about this game's like potential so far as someone coming from CS:GO?
I mean, I think they're kind of making all the right noises in terms of making things quite competitive, but still, I don't know. There's enough new things here, I think, that the people will be inspired to give it a go. I think the concept of having different characters and having different abilities is unusual for somebody who's very used to CS, because in CS almost everyone, there's no difference in terms of capabilities between different players.
Yeah, everyone's on par right when you start the match.
Yeah, exactly. So anyone can buy any weapon. The money that you have is determined by how well you do in the game. So,
but there's no like tank characters or something like that.
Exactly. Whereas in this, there are characters that can, jump very quickly across, an opening. Which, if you picked a different class, you just can't do that, right? You have your own tools.
I do thoroughly enjoy that they are keeping like the Dust style aesthetic for this map, by the way, where it takes place in some nondescript, I would assume, like a country that does honestly look like Arabic to me, but I can't obviously read Arabic. So the right, this gun has an alternate fire mode. That's interesting. Shotgun has a slug mode where it fires a single shot. That actually makes it way useful for long range.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so I should probably use my stuff as well too.
Yep, may as well. Do you want to put some smokes down on the bomb site, and then we'll try and get in there?
Okay, sure. Yeah. There's a bunch of that just went off.
Okay, nice. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay, I can't see anything. Good.
200 FPS at 4K. So MSAA is a massive hog at 4K, obviously on a mid-range GPU.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. I mean, a huge render target like that. All right, so yeah, they're coming in from the other side.
All right, so I planted the bomb inside this little place.
All right. I'm going to drop my ult soon. Tell me when they get inside that area.
Yeah, maybe just try and hide somewhere. Right now your back is to a place they could be coming from, so maybe try and hide a little bit away from the site.
Okay.
And if somebody's trying to defuse, you can just drop that.
Okay. Have they moved in yet?
Well, I can't hear anything.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. Oh, I see them now. Okay.
Yeah.
I just activated my ult.
All right, nice.
Did I get anyone?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty strong.
Did I kill myself? No, or did I?
That'd be
no, I got
impressive.
shot. Okay, good. I was about to say that's embarrassing. 180 FPS. Huh. Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, definitely not bad at all. I guess you also got killed by their team's ult.
Yep. But I mean, we
Yeah.
won the round, so it's all
Yeah,
worth it,
yeah.
right?
Okay, so let's go back down to 1080p again to see, without
Yeah.
MSAA, to see how much we're actually getting limited by performance by that.
Okay, 1080p.
Yeah.
And
No, I'm still massively CPU limited again.
yeah, same. I'm still about 200 FPS.
So I'm at 150, 140. So you get quite a nice like 25% CPU advantage just to the driver being different essentially. And we once again missed buying, by the way.
I mean, is that really important? I feel I've got this knife. You know, it looks pretty sharp.
Yeah.
We'll be
Actually,
fine.
I have yet to see a knife kill in this game. So, ooh, wow.
You know what we can do in traditional CS style is just wait until one of our teammates dies and then pick up their weapon.
Oh, you just pistoled someone. Yeah, woo. I mean, I'm going to say, like, the DF crew usually fails horribly at multiplayer games. So this is actually not that bad because we have Will on our side. And Will plays competitive multiplayer games.
This is the secret.
This
Need
is
to
the
get me
secret.
in
We
there, Will.
always just need to get Will in. Oh, but that aliasing, though, at 1080p is brutal without any MSAA on.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
I think if you're running this on like a 24-inch screen, it's probably not too bad.
Yeah, it's definitely not too bad. Like, this game's
Oh,
art
noticeable.
style is kind of actually pretty low contrast as is. Like, the environment's almost like desaturated. So you're not going to be seeing too much aliasing other than like on lines. And since there's basically no specularity as well, that totally gets rid of a lot of aliasing. I mean, this game is definitely not using something like physically based rendering, which would cause a whole bunch of like specular aliasing anywhere. It's very cartoony, and everything is basically baked. Ooh, whatever that is.
All right, he just ran away. Fair enough.
Clutch. What does a clutch exactly mean?
Oh, it meant I was the last person. I managed to
Oh, okay.
kill 2 people and punt one. All good.
Not bad. Okay, I have 800. Whatever. I'll just buy the pistol for 800. Massive Desert Eagle kind of revolver style pistol.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
So in this game, honestly, if you are having FPS problems at all, which would be surprising given how light it currently is, that means you're probably CPU limited in general, or you have MSAA on, which definitely has a massive performance impact. So definitely consider turning that off if you're looking to save frame rate in this game. Other than that, the other options, as I can see in the menu here, let me go to the menu, graphical quality, improved clarity is basically sharpening as far as I can tell when I was trying this out earlier. Things like distortion, that's a very low end GPU effect. Shadows doesn't affect the world shadows, but just the shadows on your gun. So you're not going to be clawing back much performance in this game, and it won't actually affect much of the visual quality because they're trying to make, as I die, a competitive shooter here where you don't have any advantage other than perhaps frame rate. Which is slightly different than Counter-Strike Go, because Counter-Strike Go uses real-time shadow maps. So technically, Counter-Strike Go, there's probably more of an ability to adjust, I would say, how like a competitive advantage, because if you can see real-time shadows better than someone else, you could tell when someone's above you, for example. Oh, that's someone.
That was not.
I'm going to pretend I didn't see that well.
Oh dear. I was hoping that the door might remain open. So that,
Yeah, so that door
went
does
outside.
open. How exactly did you get it to open?
So it's a one-way door. That's the
Okay.
secret. So you can go from
Okay.
A to B, but apparently not from B to A.
Stim beacon. I don't know if that's exactly PG-13. I'll try and follow you this time.
Okay. Let's go
So
to B.
seven versus 6. I think that's actually not bad, considering the fact that one person here is completely inept at the game, and that would be me.
That would be me, right?
No. Oh my god. I do like that this game has a run. I think that's kind of interesting. And iron sights, I don't know how useful they are, other than you did mention that they do change your rate of fire on some weapons, right? Or something
Sorry,
like
what
that.
was
Do iron sights change the rate of fire on some weapons?
Yeah. So when you're looking down the sights, normally the rate of fire goes down pretty substantially, and
Okay.
yeah, it's a good choice for long range, I guess. But not so good for other situations. Okay, so there's a guy I shot in the head at B, or maybe that was at A. No, it was at A. Sorry.
Oh, I'm getting some network lag, unfortunately, right now, which is... Ooh. this is not good. 902 ms, 400 ms. Yeah,
Oh dear.
I feel bad. Yeah. I'm
Okay,
getting
so you
some-
can't go through that teleporter, unfortunately. You'll have to go this way.
Yeah, I cannot go through that door. Yeah. So what is your FPS right now? Mine's 200-ish.
Right, looking at you, yeah, I'm at around 200, 230 now.
Okay, so yours is just a tiny bit higher. Yeah, and if you can actually keep the view on me. That's actually
Yep. Nice, good shot.
mine turns into a burst shot. I'm gonna try and
Oh, that's good to know. So there's one enemy alive, so you need to cover this guy.
diffuse. Okay.
Oh, yep.
Ah,
Oh,
no, but we still got it. Nope, the person stopped disarming. Oh no! They should not have stopped disarming. They totally had it.
Yeah. Never mind.
I do like that though. Like Counter-Strike is always great when it comes down to the wire, the last couple seconds of play. Like,
Yeah, it's all about those clutch moments, isn't it?
so like for me, my ultimate ability, I can't use it right now. So how do you actually get your ultimate ability in this game?
So every round, I believe you get one of those pips at the bottom of the screen.
Okay, so I
Gives
can
you
use
progress. And then there's also in the areas between the two spawns, there are little orbs on the ground which you can capture, which takes a few seconds, and you're defenseless while you're doing it.
it. Oh, okay,
Those
that's
will
what those
also
things are.
contribute to your ultimate. So if you're kind of active on the map rather than just staying in the bomb site or just staying, at spawn, then you're rewarded a little bit there.
Okay, that's interesting. I guess a little bit of anti-camp or pro non-camp measure.
Yeah.
But then again, I have yet to see many people using things like sniper rifles in this game. Like an AWP. The game does have an AWP equivalent, as I found out when I got one-shotted in a warm-up game. Okay, so that felt good. You just got that guy. Nice.
Yep.
Spike planted. I'm assuming at A site.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
it is. Okay, wait. Don't move in just yet. I'm going to drop some.
Yeah,
Smokes.
do some smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw a grenade over the edge here. And
Okay.
I'm going to go
Ready
in.
when you are.
Oh, guys right ahead of me. Okay. And there's a sniper on the platform above, by the way.
Okay, yeah, got you. There's still quite a
Oh,
few
I didn't
other
get him.
enemies,
Okay.
but it's okay.
Oh, sniper behind you, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure, by the way. Gotta be careful.
But if I have time, then
Oh.
everything's fine.
Okay, so the bomb does have stages, so you could stage it diffuse it halfway, and then come back, it looks like.
Yeah, so you can get off of it. In CSGO, it's if you just give up all progress if you get off it, so it's a lot trickier. So the bomb
Okay,
does take longer to defuse in this as well, so.
I'm gonna grab this AK-47 looking weapon. Let's pretend it isn't an AK-47 really quickly.
Yeah. That is one kind of interesting thing about the weapons in this game, is they all look very, very similar with the default skins on them. Like, if you look at a gun on the ground, you can't really tell, like, is that the AK one? Is that the M4 one? Is that the, even some of the SMGs look quite similar.
I do notice that the sides do not change default pistols, though. So there's there's no Glock USP kind of thing going on.
Yeah, the USP is essentially one of the upgraded pistols that you have to pay a little bit for. I like how there's 4 of us on A.
Yeah, you never know. I mean,
yeah, it could work,
if
right?
the guy at B dies, we know what's up.
Oh yeah, there B.
Yeah. Okay, so they're. Oh wait, we're behind them. Oh,
Oh,
good.
nice, push.
Nice, push. Oh, I just died.
Okay, well I think we're this is 3 versus 1 at the moment, so we're doing well. Okay. Oh, and we've won. I did nothing. I contributed. Yay.
We won. As we can see, kind of to sum it up, this game runs extremely well on mid-range hardware. You're going to be seeing a slight CPU limitation under the AMD driver for things like above 144 hertz if you're running on like a mid-range CPU. Like I am an i5-8400, so if you are probably pushing for 240 hertz or FPS in this beta, look probably towards using an NVIDIA card, but otherwise you're really set, and this game runs extremely well. And if you're having trouble with GPU performance, turn off MSAA. It's a GPU hog, like you would expect for any game. But Will, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah. Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, of course. And if you did enjoy this quick look at Valorant and not Chancellor Valorum, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're already a subscriber, then please consider hitting that little bell in the corner to be informed as soon as Digital Foundry posts a video. If you want to talk to Will or myself about this game or CSGO or anything in the like, write a comment below or follow Will and myself on Twitter. And as always, this is Alex bidding you auf Wiedersehen und Will.
I think you carried me pretty hard there.